Battle of the Challenges podcast with Vincent Cloud
and David Lauer
with Rivals 3 episode, I'll call it this, episode 2 part 1. Because we're once again only shown a mission and then not a jungle or an ending.
There's no elimination. TJ says, no, we're gonna get some replacements, but we're not gonna have an elimination. So we're just gonna have the mission. So it's kind of like the first episode where he didn't see an elimination. So it's a pattern.
Yeah, exactly. And a pattern I don't really like.
Because the elimination is what the show is about. Like someone getting kicked off, one-on-one, two teams against each other. Best one stays, worst goes home.
So the mission, it's almost like, you have it to determine who's last, who's automatically going in the jungle. So this episode, we have a mission, but we don't have a loser, a winner. We don't have any of that. Because TJ, he's like, you know what? Fuck the fans. Fuck what they want to see.
We're going to have a three-way dinner.
Random. We're throwing in another twist at you, and I have a good feeling that you'll appreciate this dinner where they talk about why are people rivals again. So we're treated like, how many times are we going to be shown these clips? You know what I mean? Instead of being shown a jungle. That's preposterous. Like, I cannot stand it. It's fucking crazy.
Apparently it's better TV to watch Bananas talk about why he hates Sarah and how Sarah, double-crossed him and he's such a victim. Bananas will tell you all of that. And then it even sounded like Nelson. He believed that, he's like, oh, it sounds like Bananas really got screwed over by Sarah. He's like, I don't really know if I can trust her. It's like, really? Bananas is just spouting off stuff and people are taking it as truth and it's like, come on.
Well, I mean, we're talking completely out of order. Not meaning that we're wrong, but we're just chronologically we're speaking out of order. So I guess we'll go about this chronologically, but we just basically gave away the entire episode where it's just void, So
doesn't matter.
This season of Rivals 3, I think the theme is interaction. It's drama with a mission as an afterthought, as a jungle as an afterthought. The producers love all these personalities that they have in all their interactions. They're just filming them, and they're just like, the mission, what about it? You know what I mean? They're just kind of getting pushed later on. So that's all we're here to talk about, right? I mean, it's good stuff, is it not? It's interesting enough, with Ashley Smashley, as Corey calls her. The eternal drunk, like the day walker. She's just like, I'm just fucking drunk all the time.
Yeah,
Corey,
and she talks in a certain way where you're not sure if she's drunk or not. You're like, well, she's slurring like she's drunk, but she could be sober because she kind of just talks that way all the time.
Yeah.
And it's always in this weird state if you don't know where exactly she is.
Yeah, she's like the female southern version of Johnny Depp's, what was it called? Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ. I couldn't think of it. Yeah, she's basically Jack Sparrowing it the entire time. She's like, what are you fucking talking about? I'm fucking drunk. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And I can, once again, I don't know how old she is at all. Because her level of drunken sadness ages her from 35 to fucking 19.
She seems like she's obviously just 22 years old. And she's so drunk and she has no idea how to fucking handle herself. She drinks way too much and then she's like, whoa, she doesn't realize what she just did to herself. She's just self-sabotaging. I mean, it's kind of the kind of person that they wanted to get on the show this season. Someone who will just get blackout drunk and do crazy stuff. And
I am paying attention whenever she's on. I am just fascinated by how did, the producers should feel so bad, that they're letting her exist.
They're recording her downfall.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of like, you ever watch The Fighter when Christian Bale's character thinks that they're making a documentary about his comeback or whatever, but really it's just all about his heroin addiction.
That's not how I remember the movie.
That's what the MTV challenge is right now for poor Ashley, man. Ashley's like, you know what? I'm going to show all these bitches they can't be like high school bitches. You know, like she talks about Simone and Jessica talking about her and everyone keeping her out of the loop and shit, you know, but when really they're like, look at her, she's fucking, you know. Like the title of our documentary isn't called the Phoenix of Ashley, you know, because remember, she got kicked out of Real World. She was only there for a couple episodes, and when she told Corey, when she told Corey, she's like, my family would buy your family if we remember where our money was, because we're so fucking drunk. You know what I mean? But like...
But Corey forgave her for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I don't get that. I'm not sure I'd be that easy to forgive. Come on, Corey. Stand up for yourself.
But what I'm saying is, it's not about her improving her character to the audience at all. No. They're still just like, oh my god, it's called the demise of Ashley. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's sad. Controversial in my mind. All right, so you know what else is happening at the bar? Because it starts off at the bar. Wes says to Simone, "Hey, you have that's a nice dress you're wearing. You're looking pretty good looking." Or something like that, you know
what? The old flirter, Wes, he's back. He's just flirting it up with a girl, and Simone, she seemed to all right. She wasn't put off by it.
Yeah, Simone is like, yeah, he compliments me a lot. So that's at the beginning. Anyways, during that night, that's when Ashley thinks that Jamie makes out with Nicole.
Yeah.
Like, nothing, there's no evidence. There's no visual confirmation at all. I think Nicole's walking by and Jamie, like, sticks his butt out and rubs it against her and, like, kind of dances.
Tries to do a little dance.
Yeah.
And they seem like they do a little dance, but you did see the short little recording of them kind of walking off towards the bathroom.
That's true.
They were walking together. So, you know if they walked to the bathroom and made out, or they just went and went they probably just went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
She went to the girls, he went to the guys. But they just did it like, oh, they're walking off together.
But that was enough for Ashley. Her fucking mind was just like...
Yeah.
She played the entire scenario in her head and started freaking out, man.
Yeah, and she is drunk, and she's slurring her words, and she's talking to, like, Sarah and Tony.
Tony's big idea, what is his solution? Is like, let's go take some shots. That's what fucking warps her mind even more. A fragile mind cannot handle more tequila shots. But that's Tony for you. He's a instigator. Ashley is now in the bathroom crying, and I think Camilla's trying to calm her down. I'm not really sure, but she's like, that fucker Jamie made out with Nicole. I just saw it and shit. And Camilla's like, honestly, I didn't see that. And I don't think anyone else did. I think, I don't think that happened at all. And
Camilla is completely the level-headed, smart talker here. Yeah. She's not the Camillinator. She's completely cool, and it's like Camilla, like, grew up this season. She's, like, advanced to, like, she's like a motherly figure where she's teaching the young bucks, like, hey, this is not how we conduct ourselves. Camilla's there for the win now. Because I feel like in past, she was a ferocious person in the missions, but her head was never in the game. This season, her head is totally in the game. I like Camilla a lot.
All I have to say about that is, remember, she always has that Camilla Nader moment where she explodes. She has yet to not have one.
I don't see it this season, though. She seems so mature.
This is only the second episode.
She seems very matured. I think she was matured on Bloodlines.
She had it last season, though.
I think it was kind of contrived. No, but I feel like that was contrived.
It's still the same thing. She's gonna... Well, that makes it worse. She's gonna want to do it again.
No, she just happened to get off the season last year. But this year it's gonna be different.
Ashley's still crying and shit. Corey comes in trying to calm her down. Nicole comes in just wanting to use the bathroom.
That's just so funny. It's like, oh, how convenient.
Yeah, Ashley's like, don't you dare, you fucking bitch. Piss your pants and shit. She's just going off at Nicole, and Nicole's like, what
happened?
Johnny had to come in and say, like, hey, did you do that? Because that's what she's forgetting about. And by the way, during that scene, there was like just a citizen, like a regular dude just standing there caught in the camera. He's like, what the fuck? He was like trying to get out of the boys' bathroom and they're filming that scene. So he's just standing there. It's like, He's like, pacing, people, pacing. I had to pee.
I thought it was great because like once Corey went in there and Corey and Ashley started talking, Corey's there to like calm down Ashley, and they're partners on the game. Like Corey is about winning this. He was second place last year with Mitch, and we miss Mitch. Like Mitch was awesome.
Totally, I miss him.
I wish he was back for this year. It sucks that he's not here. We got Corey, and he's talking to Ashley, and he's like, "Hey, he's like, I don't care how drunk you are and how smashly Ashley you are. You're like Tanya 2.0 right now."
Oh my god, totally.
He just talks to her, calms her down, and he's like, all right.
He's himself. He's just like always kind of like making everything light and kind of jokey.
It seemed like he was kind of just flirting with her at first. And it was like, at first it just seemed like he was like Mac, like moving in after completion. It's just like,
okay, yeah.
He's like Dennis did the dentist system, and now he's like, I'm swooping in. And he's like, okay. He's like, I'm gonna just. He was just flirting with her, making her feel better about herself, kind of just giving her a boost of confidence, and it worked. And it got her going. You know, Corey just did his thing. And he was his charming self. He's a little bummed out because his lady friend went home last episode. What's her name?
Oh, right, Cheyenne.
Yeah. Cheyenne, yeah.
Wait, you think he wants to get with Ashley?
Maybe Corey is trying to get with his rival?
His own fucking partner. Even though she said all that racist shit. However, if you look at the mission...
Maybe she will own him.
At the mission, Corey and Ashley had the most sexual, like... That was clearly...
Oh, they're grinding it.
Yeah. They had the most suggestive soap carving.
Almost. There might have been a runner-up.
Well, anyways, let's continue on. Okay, once they get back to the house, Ashley sits by Jamie and says, "What's wrong?" And Jamie's just like stunned, like, "What do you mean?" Like, you yelled at me. And Ashley's like, "About what?"
Like, you don't remember? Were you not there?
And Jamie's like, "What's the matter with you?"
Why would you do that?
But, okay, so somehow this blurry, smudged, makeup, drunken, trailer trash beauty queen is like, hey, forget it. You know what I mean? Like, I figured everyone was against me or whatever. And Jamie just says, basically, well, don't feel that way. And they end up hooking up that same night. Now, a good friend of mine, in fact, DJ Matty Nice once said, "Don't stick your dick in crazy." And I just have to say that to Jamie.
I don't know that Matsu has followed that advice, but I can now say that Jamie doesn't follow that advice either. I mean, we've all had open ears to Matt making poor decisions. DJ Matty Nice.
Alright, so anyways, they hook up afterwards, and then in the morning... That's when Simone and Jessica are talking about Ashley, and Simone's like, she's fucking crazy, does the little loop-de-loop next to her temple and shit, and Ashley's like, fuck y'all and shit. Like, she's
like Jess was over there, and she's got like a pillow, and she's in her bra, and it's like, Jess, you're looking so hot right now. That's all I could think about. And I'm like, okay. Try and act like I care about what Ashley thinks. And Ashley just gets all pissed off at Simone.
Yeah.
And Simone was just being like, yeah, she's like, because Ashley was the person who started all the drama the night before.
So Simone, she tells Ashley, you're just a fucking camera whore. And Ashley's like, you're the fucking camera whore. And who do you think is? I think they're both.
I think
one
Ashley
is more intentional and more than Simone.
Yeah, sure.
Simone's the one that puts all these, like, do not lie on me. And she says it for like 7 minutes straight. Gets in with it with Tony or whatever.
She did that, but Ashley from the get-go, she's just been like, I'm sleeping with people, I'm talking a lot. She's like, she threw all the cards on the table.
Though. I think that's the difference. I think Ashley's naturally...
Oh, you think Simone is more contrived?
I think cameras naturally go to Ashley because she is this beautiful train wreck. Beautiful train wreck.
Is she beautiful? I feel like she's a trash bag hoe.
No, I don't want to be too mean this season, so I'm going to say Ashley's genuine. And I think Simone is more of a put-on in terms of, like, she wants the cameras on her. Cameras naturally gravitate towards Ashley is what I'm saying. You know what else Simone has to say about Ashley? She says, no, she's talking about Jamie. She's like, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Which is funny, yet...
I've heard that told towards Wes at one point. Talking about Johanna?
About Kellyanne.
Yeah. Who said that to him? Was that Kenny?
Darrell? I think Darrell told Wes.
Oh, can't turn a hoe into a housewife.
Classic shit. Anyways, now Simone, she leaves. She goes to Jamie and Camilla, and she tells Jamie, she's like, hey, I think Ashley's kind of using you or like trying to manipulate you or something like that. And I feel like that's kind of inappropriate. I think this goes way beyond just saying who's more of a camera whore. Now Simone's going out of her way to diss not only Ashley's sanity, but Ashley's relationship with Jamie. So, I don't know. It's very catty. I can't help it. This is what the episode's about. I have to talk about it. I hate this fucking episode. I mean, I was entertained, but I hate having to talk about this stupid drama shit on my podcast. I hate it.
I know. I kind of check out where I'm just like, all right, they're bickering back and forth. They both hate each other.
And once again, I had my roommate watch this episode with me, and she's like, this is fucking bullshit. I'm like, I know. But they're not like this. And she's like, isn't this like the third episode where like nothing happens except a bunch of yelling and drama and shit? I'm like, yes, but they're not like this usually. But I couldn't defend it anymore. I was like, I'm sorry.
No, I can't defend this either. I felt sad after watching it too.
Finally, let's get to the fucking mission. Or right before the mission,
the replacements.
This is where the replacements show up. They're from Are You the One?
Yeah, like TJ's like, hey, Leroy, he pushed out this year. Hurt his back. He's no longer participating. He's like, we have replacements. Then they cut to a bunch of faces that are all like surprise faced and like shocked. Like all these veterans, there's like Jess is acting shocked, and so is Sarah and Bananas. And it's like, oh, it's just Are You the One people? Like people they've never seen before. They don't know their faces. They don't recognize them.
Yeah.
And then TJ has to like, oh, so and so doesn't like so and so because they talk too much. Okay, thanks, TJ.
But it is true. Amanda, I mean, that's the whole thing. When Nelson and Amanda are on camera together, all he says is, like, she basically never knows when to shut up. And then all she has to say is, like, yeah, and when he tells me to shut up, I'm going to go after him. That's the only reason why they're rivals, and I feel like almost everyone, obviously, for the rest of this episode, can be rivals with this chick because she just fucking does not step
She never
down.
stops talking.
No.
She
Holy
just goes
shit.
for it.
Let's get to dirty laundry. Describe it.
Yeah. I mean, there's just like a giant pillar that is covered with some numbers that is encased with soap. And you have to dip into the water below, get yourself wet, and then slide yourself against the soap in order to dissolve the soap and reveal the numbers, and then you go up to the clothesline, and then you put up those numbers in order.
It's just your thighs, basically.
Yep. Your butt
so
and your
then
thighs.
you have no choice but to look very suggestive during this mission. You know what I mean?
And that was the whole MTV's gimmick here. It was just like, hey, we're gonna make it look like they're grinding and having sex. Honestly, like, for some of the chicks, it fucking worked. Like, those chicks, they looked hot when they were grinding on that.
It worked as in, they peaked like Ashley did.
Ashley, I think Camilla, Kellyanne, all very admirable performances.
As crazy as this mission is, it's not out of left field. If you think back to the second mission of Rivals 1, the rivals had to sit on each other's lap inside this giant crane machine and smash cars.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, that's really weird. That's, very kind of like, oh, if homophobia exists, it's trapped in that machine.
Well, this is guys and girls. It's not same sex.
Okay, and then Rivals 2, the second mission was Triple X games, where you were tied to someone 69 style. Do you remember that? You had to carry them through all this shit, and then it was like you had to grab
decided
a ball
they
in
didn't
the
want
mouth.
to participate?
Wes and CT.
Yeah.
Preston and
They're
Knight.
like, no, we're not doing this.
Yeah, they didn't want to do that. But
I thought that was awesome that they stood up to the authority there, and they're like, no, we're not doing this.
So, and now it's even worse. It's even more like kind of, I don't know.
But they didn't have to do it to another person. They just had to grind in the log, so it wasn't as bad as that Rivals.
But still, it's a little bit more kind of tactless, just kind of like in your face, like, yeah, this looks like people having sex right now. And in fact, they are grinding on a soapy pole. Deal with it. You know what I mean? That's how the producers are going about this.
I like it. It's good television. I'd watch it again. Like TJ, he comes on and he has something he wants to say.
Yes.
And he says that normally in a season of the Rivals, you would have the team that got first would pick the order. Whoever got first in the last mission will pick the order for the next mission.
Yep.
But he's like, this season, whoever survives the jungle will come back and pick the order.
It's a twist that I actually am okay with.
Yeah, it was a twist out of nowhere, and this is not how it normally happens, but I like it a lot. Like, I thought it was sweet. You know, you're less likely to have the same team going into jungle week after week.
Johnny and Jessica, they get to make the order.
Because they beat Devin. I like Devin.
All right, let's start off with Heat 1, where it's Nelson and Amanda, Brandon and Brianna, Dario and Nicole, Nate and Christina. Basically, all Are You the One, plus a bloodline in there for good measure. So
yeah, Christina and Nate.
Nate and Christina go for it. I mean, they win first. Because of their bony ass, they say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't have any, they don't got any, like, yeah, you can tell Christina, and she's grinding it really pretty fucking good there. She looked pretty hot doing it. I liked it.
She wasn't working the entire shaft, so to speak, the soapy shaft.
She was focusing
on one area. It was focused grinding. That's what I noticed from Christina. She was kind of chipping away instead of kind of.
And she was using her inner thigh to kind of work against it, like not just pushing down right in the center. And it seemed like if you're using your thighs more than just your buttocks, you had more success. And she got that right away, and she was doing that.
So their first place. Remember, Nate and Christina, you know, Nate sucked because he didn't jump from the plane and all this other shit, you know. And
Nate's a pussy. Like, he's really let me down.
Yeah, but he's won. Come on. Okay, so second place is Brandon and Brianna. Before all this, Brianna's like, yeah, this is very fucking weird to be doing this with Brandon, but I'm just going to imagine it's my boyfriend's cock. And Brandon is completely taken aback. He's like,
completely blindsided. He's like, no. You did not just say that right now. Tell me you did not just say that. But you have, like, Brianna, and she's on there grinding on the soap, and she's got water all over. Her makeup is just melting off. It looks like her face is melting off, and she's like, oh my god.
I was going to say that, yeah. I was like, this chick is hot. And then when it's so exposed in front of me, it's kind of hard to watch.
Yeah, her makeup just melting off her face, and her just, like, screaming. It's just like... Okay,
well, she's
Brianna,
she's got
exactly
soap in her eyes. I didn't think about that.
She seemed like Camilla from 3-4 years ago.
Past.
Yeah.
But you know what? They get second place. That's really good for them.
I was impressed.
And in third place, I am kind of surprised. Dario and Nicole. I don't know why. I just figured that
better.
They'd do more. Yeah,
they should have gotten first. I felt like Dario, Nicole.
They were beat by Nate and Christina.
Yeah,
and then
that's
another.
Not good.
Yeah,
that's a disappointing debut. By the way.
Yeah, but they got as Dario said, he's like, I have the ass the size of Massachusetts.
Yeah, but apparently that big ass is only worth
you
third
need it
place.
To be small and shit, and you need it to be real. I'm sure Nicole's ass isn't real either. I'm sure she's got one of those fucking Kim Kardashian ass plants or Nicki Minaj ass plants. You know what I mean? I'm sure.
Do you think so? I don't feel like when I've seen her ass, I haven't seen much there. I'm sure she's saving up for it. If she wins this challenge, she'll get that for sure.
Or she's like, hey, you should have saw it before the fucking implant. Maybe they were like, her ass was just two giant dimples, basically. They were, they were concaved or whatever. She's like, if I win again, then I'm getting a bigger ass. So, yeah.
I can see her doing that.
Yeah.
She's already got sponsors from Laurel, Maybelline, and L'Oreal.
Laurel and Maybelline. But last place out of heat number 1 is newcomers, replacements, Nelson and Amanda.
Exactly. Like, you just showed up out of nowhere, and you just got last. Like, that's what everyone expected, but
you know what's going to make it better,
you just showed up. Like, you're probably going to get sent in. If you would have done good, you would have at least given yourself a chance.
Actually, no. You're not going to get sent in. In fact, you're going to go on a nice dinner later in the episode. And no one's going to be eliminated. Heat number 2. It's between Wes, Nani, Corey, Ashley, Jamie, Kellyanne, Thomas, and Simone. First place finishers, Wes and Nani. Before this thing starts, Wes is like, okay, to both of our significant others back home, our boyfriends, our girlfriends, I apologize for what we have to do. And to our families back home. And then he's like...
It may look like we're having fun,
yeah.
but we're not having fun.
And then he's like, and finally I apologize to Nani's boyfriend because I'm going to look good doing it. Or something like that.
It was awesome. I love Wes. Work smart, not hard.
Yeah. But yeah, work smarter, not harder, because what exactly do they figure out?
You don't need to rub the entire thing of soap off. You just go for where there's the numbers, and it's not right on top, it's right on the side.
Yeah, it's
so
on the
we'll kind of
side.
use our thighs
Yep.
and rub our thighs against it.
Everyone else has been basically trying to cut through the soap right from the middle.
So Wes and Nani did great. They got first.
Yeah, they got first. Awesome. Great to see some veterans kicking ass. All right, number 2, Jamie and Kellyanne. Kellyanne, how she chips away at her soap is amazing. This is Yoga Hoser herself, Kellyanne, and she's hot. I don't know, I couldn't get over it. She, of course, had this face on her the entire time where she was just kind of annoyed, kind of rolling her eyes or whatever. And, you know, Jamie's like grinding away behind her and stuff like that. But
yeah,
they do well, you know.
Kellyanne looked hot as hell, grinding on that soap. When it was Kellyanne, I was just like, oh, yep, alright. We're good right now.
Basically, what she did, how I imagine if a girl drops the soap in, like, Orange is the New Black, that's what happens. They just drop down and grind on it. You're like, holy shit,
you wish.
Dropping the soap
never
in a
happens.
female prison is amazing compared to the man thing that happens when you drop a soap in a man prison.
But Orange is the New Black never did that.
Oh, they should.
Kellyanne does.
They should.
On that log.
Just have Kellyanne fucking carve a gun
she
out
did
of the
it
soap
all.
with
Oh,
her
yeah.
crotch and her
Oh, yeah.
crotch only.
She grinded on it real good, real hard, real fast. Not only that, but there was Corey and Ashley were going at it. And they were really getting into it, too.
Christ, yeah.
Really getting into it. Because Ashley, like the classy lady that Ashley is, she started moaning a lot. She was like, oh, it was like I was working out. Like I'm just grunting as I'm working out.
No, she was getting off, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah. She was
definitely was.
She was getting zestfully clean, as they say. And Corey's like, oh my god, like all the grinding behind Ashley because it was a really close simulation of sex.
And Corey's going for it because last week Simone left, or not Simone, but Cheyenne. Cheyenne left. Yeah. So now Corey's really going for it, and he's even with his partner because he does seem to slightly flirt with Ashley.
They finished third, which is awesome. So in last place is Thomas and Simone.
Yeah,
they were actually grinding face to face. That's a little impersonal, right?
It was, and they weren't particularly good at it.
Ironically enough, I mean, if sex was always doggy style, like it's portrayed on the soap bar, face to face is actually impersonal. This time around.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I feel like it's more personal because you're looking at him.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like it's more like, hey, don't even come close to me, sort of thing. Because the people that were back to front or whatever, doggy style, they bumped each other all the time. But when they went face to face,
but then you're gonna smash knees, so it just seems like that'd be more painful. Okay. I don't know. I dispute the logic of it.
But anyways, that's what Thomas and Simone did.
Did not work out. After that,
Simone's like, my crotch is burning. It feels like a spicy quesadilla. Which, I mean, this bleeds, no pun intended, into the next episode where she's complaining about her crotch, like her asshole is torn. Did you hear about that?
I heard a line of that, but I don't remember the whole thing. So can you refresh my memory?
I don't know. Let's
talk about this more.
If we should jump so forward, but yeah, I think Simone hurt her ass. In fact, a lot of people are going to complain that they feel sore after this mission.
Get sent home because she hurt a butthole?
I don't know.
Oh, it's a Mexican food, hurt a butthole. Can we all learn a lesson?
Okay, so we have one heat left. We have Vince and Jenna, Bananas and Sarah, Tony and Camilla, Johnny and Jessica. Number 1, Tony and Camilla. That's impressive right there. We had a feeling that even though the rivalry was rather fucking, not as legitimate as you would want it to be.
But as a team, they're still an awesome team. Tony rocked it. Like, when he was grinding on that freaking soap, he just was going for it, and he was doing a great job. And Camilla, she was doing it, and she was looking hot.
They do finish first. And you know what else? They're also face-to-face. I said it was impersonal, you know what I mean? But it worked for them, so I guess I take it back about it being impersonal. It still worked, Second place is Vince and Jenna. Jenna, our Barbie Beast, our favorite. She doesn't necessarily take the win this time, which sucks. And she doesn't get to make the order, which kind of sucks.
But they still got second place, which is really good.
Yeah, that's true.
Jenna and Vince are, again, a very strong team.
Yes.
They're one of the best. Like, Jenna is always rocking it. And she's like, it wasn't like the soap was soft. It was hard. And she's like, she wasn't going to break her vagina bone on it. And then the producer chimed in. She's like, I think it's a pelvis bone. And it's like, no, there's no such thing as a pelvis bone. What are you talking about?
Is it pelvis or pelvic?
It could be either, but there's no such thing as a pelvic bone. You have your pelvis, which is like your two hip bones, your sacrum, and your coccyx.
It was amazing, though. It was fucking awesome.
She didn't want to hurt her pubic symphysis. That's what she didn't want to hurt.
What works is that she's genuinely that dim-witted. And of course, I'm saying this is a compliment to Jenna because she does perform good.
But she knows it. She's so self-aware, I feel like.
Do you think she also knows how to play it up? Just like how anyone knows how to be charming enough. Like,
I think she does it to be true. She's like, I'm a goofball. I'm just going to say this. She knows what she's doing. She's super self-aware.
So is vagina bone real or fake? Authentic or no?
I feel like
was that for laughs?
I think she made it up herself, and it was for laughs, but I think she did it on her own. So I give her credit for it.
All right.
I give her credit for it.
I mean, it was funny.
It's funny because she thought it was a joke.
Because maybe she's like...
And she was like, I know it's not a vagina bone. Everyone knows that. That's not the medical term.
Oh, man. And in third place, Bananas and Sarah.
It's a little surprising. I expect big things from this team. They're champions.
Yeah, and, last time, apparently, Johnny dropped Sarah, and now that they both have to work together, they get third place.
But still, there's 3 heats of 4, so even third place, that's still middle of the pack, below middle of the pack. You're not even in the top half.
But in last place of this third heat is Johnny and Jessica once again. They're in last place. Jessica's like, it was a lot harder than it looks.
He was super pissed.
Yeah.
He was totally pissed.
He didn't dress it up at all. He's like,
yeah.
Like, he was almost like swearing at the producers. He's like, we're in last place again. How the fuck am I supposed to feel?
Yeah.
Like, he was
And it was like he was
mad.
pissed about Jess, like, not doing that good, and he's like, we fucking lost. I hate this.
Totally fucking annoyed with Jessica. And I am too right now. I was like, Jessica, I was rooting for you. You have all these haters saying like, oh, you're no good. And I'm like, no, she did amazing in Free Agents. She won so many missions and shit like that. And now her second last place in a row. And it is frustrating. But frustration is just the beginning. In fact, that's the main mantra of this episode. And perhaps this season. Because right now TJ walks up and then he's like, okay, good mission, guys. So I decided to change things up, meaning I'm not going to...
I immediately perked up and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like...
That's interesting.
What is going to happen? And instead he's just like, you know what? Nelson and Amanda, thank you for showing up here. And they're like, you're welcome. You paid us to show up here.
Yeah. He's like, thanks for being the replacements.
Yeah.
He's like, but because you're likely to get sent home immediately... We're not going to have an elimination. We're going to have a 3-way dinner.
Yeah.
Or however he said it.
So, they're not going to have an elimination.
There's no elimination.
They're going to send those 2 newbies who did last place in their respective heats go to a nice dinner out on the town. They get to choose 2 people to join them. Basically, it goes like this. I believe it was Brandon. Brandon, he's already the one as well. He's like, hey, send in Johnny and Sarah. Send in Bananas and Sarah. He straight up tells them, and that's who they chose. And they also chose Thomas and Simone because Simone is saying, we want to go, or I want to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she
and
started saying it right away.
We don't know what's going to happen.
That?
Yeah. So now they choose Bananas and Sarah. And
like, I was thinking, if it was me, and they called it me, and they were like, Dave, who are you going to take in there? I would have picked Bananas and Sarah, and Wes and Nani. Like, I would want those two teams with me.
Yeah.
And they got it right with Bananas and Sarah, but they picked Thomas and Simone? Like, come on, don't pick them. You know, you're going for Bananas, you know he doesn't want to go. So if you're going to do one of those, at least do another vet team with Wes.
I felt that if the possibility that maybe you're going to go in elimination instead is like this huge twist, why not take a big, strong team and a really weak team like Thomas and Simone, just in case? What if it comes down to something like that?
Thomas and Simone weak?
I think so.
Weaker than Nate and Christine?
Yeah, but Simone's the one who was like, hey, we want to go. That's the big difference. Everyone else was like looking away. They're scared. And Brandon's the one who, he fucking sells Bananas out. He's like, pick Johnny and Sarah. I think that's pretty badass. That's cool. Isn't that worth of note?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's okay.
What else? TJ cancels the elimination. And instead he's going to throw them a house party instead, which we don't see this episode, correct?
Yeah, I guess we didn't see
this episode. We don't see the episode.
We only saw the dinner. That's all we saw was the dinner tonight.
Which is those people get to check out the town again, right? By themselves. Have Mexican food and tequila drinks and shit like that, which sounds awesome. But not only is he canceling elimination, but he's not even announcing who won the mission. This mission was null and void. This has no effect on anything because we don't know who wins, we don't know who loses, and who decides the next mission.
I didn't even realize they never announced who got first place.
No,
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
why did I not like?
It was so frustrating.
I stopped writing notes at this point. I was watching this episode, taking notes, and like, okay, this is what happened, and then I just stopped writing notes because I got annoyed.
Okay, so now that they don't announce the winners. Episode 3, if they have a mission, who decides the order? It was Johnny and Jessica. They won the jungle. They didn't have a jungle this time. Is it going to be Johnny and Jessica again decide the order?
Yeah, what are they going to do for the next mission?
Alright, so now to the dinner where the conversation goes, why are you guys rivals? Which, right off the bat, I'm like, that is the most stupid dinner conversation.
They just fed them that line. Like, we know that, right?
That's only going to result in drama. Why would you want to say, why do you hate each other? You know what I mean? You don't know if it's just as phony as, like, Nelson and Amanda's. They don't know that. It's very...
She just goes off a lot.
It's very fake between the two. So they assume everyone else's rivalry is fake. So it goes to Thomas and Simone, and Thomas and Simone, like, we already know this. This whole dinner scenario is kind of just an echo, a repeat of what we've already seen. We show Simone throwing all the cups in Thomas's face. I almost said Timon's face, like Lion King.
Timon and Pumbaa. Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata. So this dinner's happening, right? What did you think about it? I personally was fascinated that Bananas is like, hey, guess what? There's this redhead in the house called Wes, and already Simone's like, hey, I think he's good looking, you know?
He's okay.
And Bananas like, really? Way. The redhead, the ginger man in the fucking house, and Simone's like, yes, and Bananas is just like flabbergasted, like, what? And if you remember in the very first episode, Simone said one thing to Wes. I think she said hello. And Bananas like, oh, do you like pasty ass redheads and shit like that?
Really?
Yeah, Bananas was in the pool, and Wes and Simone were just outside the pool.
I remember that.
Yeah, in episode 1, right off the bat. We didn't include it in the last podcast. We didn't even talk about it because I was like, this is fucking stupid. But like, even then, Johnny is just like jumping to just yell about Wes and yell about Sarah. It's almost kind of embarrassing, I feel. Like
he needs to have something to say, and he's like, well, I'm going to attack my partner.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to attack Wes, because we have a history. Johnny knows his role, and he's playing his role.
Yeah,
but he's still trying to like act like he's the good guy. But he comes off as pathetic, because it's like, dude, Sarah did not betray you that hard. You're just trying to play a victim right now. And even, like, brings up Wes, it's like, hey, if you don't have any hard feelings towards him, if you want to be a mature adult, you'd be like, yeah, we have a history, we've been opponents, you know, may the best man win.
Yeah.
But instead he attacks him and he just, like, insults the way, he's like, oh, he's a ginger, look at the way he looks. Come on, man, just, like, be a mature adult, be a mature competitor, and just be like, hey, he's my opponent, we're going to go against him. I mean, instead he acts like a child.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, this guy, like, you know, he's won so many challenges or whatever, and when MTV wants to say, like, this is our champion, this is who totally represents us, the face of the challenge, he's a fucking brat, man. I think so. Yeah. He's fucking still stomping around saying, I was cheated and shit. You know,
Sarah, she betrayed me.
Yeah.
It was like, no, she didn't. All she did was send you in against Leroy, and you couldn't beat him. You weren't good enough.
When people
lost, bro.
If people are taking his side in this right now for this episode at this moment, people also have to know that Bananas has won 5 times. That is the record-breaking amount. There's only one other person that's won 4, only a handful of people that's won 3, and no one else here has won that many. Like, it's just ridiculous that he's so fucking, like, getting pissed off. Like, there should be a sense of growth from being around so much and winning so much. Like, remember when CT won finally in Rivals 2? He came back for free agents and he had the beard and he was wise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he was so laid back.
It's like he went to college and he came back and he was a wise man. He's like, I went and lived in India for a year.
Yeah, exactly. But Bananas has gotten worse throughout the years.
Yeah, he kind of still acts childish. And he's going off of these old feuds, which are, you know, mainly contrived. Like, him and Sarah is so contrived. It's, Sarah did what she needed to do to win, and Bananas is acting like a victim. I was like, no, all you had to do was go into an elimination round, and you lost. You know what? He already lost earlier that year, and he got to work his way back in. Wes, he got knocked out, and he didn't get a second chance.
Oh, that's right.
Bananas lost twice, and he's still butthurt about it. It's like, come on. Come on, Bananas.
So while all this is going on, the crazy part is that not only is Bananas complaining about Sarah, but he's also bringing up Wes out of the blue. No one's like, we never... What? Who is this guy? And he just goes off about him. But meanwhile...
He knows he wants to bring him up.
But meanwhile, he's saying, I bet Wes is over there just, like, you know, figuring out what's happening over here. And sure enough, Wes is there. He's with Jenna and who else? Nani?
Yeah, Jenna and Nani, his partner, and Nani.
He's just like, I bet we never see him again or something like that. Or they're going
to elimination. They're going to go into elimination.
Yeah, yeah.
And one of those teams is not coming back.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it should have been. Like, I think Wes had it right. That's not what happened. They should have been like, hey, you just picked 2 teams. One of these teams is going to go against you.
Yeah, and let's just finish up the whole dinner sequence. The other reason why this... was it good? I kind of felt like, again, it's just a repeat. It's another... Like, we already know why Johnny and Sarah hate each other, and we already know that he does. But, again, Nelson and Amanda, or Nelson is like, so why, or, you know, they're like, why are you guys rivals? So when it gets to Bananas and Sarah, it's just as annoying as you would predict it would be. Where Johnny just goes into this huge spiel about, like, she was a friend, and, you know, if you stole $125,000 from me, I would never trust you either, and shit like that, you know? But it's like, why can't, you know, everyone knows that Johnny Bananas is a hypocrite. He said the exact same thing in reunions where he's like, hey, once you realize how to screw people over, aka play the game correctly, to get to win, people are mad that you did it before they did it to you. That's what he says. He's said that before plenty of times. And when it actually happens to him, that's when he's in this huge big stink about it.
Bada boom, realest guys in the room. That's completely it. Bananas does that shit to everyone else, and once somebody does it to him, he acts like he's the victim. And it's like, no. Somebody's just playing the game. He would do the same thing. He gets right before a final, and he's like, no, we want to get rid of this team because they're strong. He gets rid of them. And hey, he wins the season, and he's awesome. And he's done it to countless people before.
Yeah. At the very end of this whole dinner sequence, finally, Nelson asks, hey, so let us know what's going on in the house and shit. And that's when Banana's like, seriously, man, this is the most fucked up thing I've ever experienced. You can't trust nobody, you know. Every day is a fucking, you know, puzzle and shit like that. The endless labyrinth, you know, which is true. But Amanda calls bullshit on Bananas. She's just like, no, you're not being real with me and shit like that. And he wasn't. He was kind of playing him off.
He's like, I'm not going to tell my secret. I'm not just going to tell my secrets to these newbies.
So Amanda says...
He's like, I'm just going to play him.
But Amanda's just like, no, you're bullshitting us right now. You know? So right at this moment, before Amanda goes crazy at the very, you know, for the rest of the episode, I was like, Amanda. Amanda.
Amanda.
Amanda.
Amanda.
I meant to say, Amanda. But it came out, Amanda.
Amanda.
Amanda, when you called Bananas out for his bullshit right then and there, awesome. Amazing. I was just like, yeah, that's fucking, you know, say it right. But when they get back to the house, that's when it gets annoying.
Honestly, at this point in the episode, I stopped writing notes, and I was so upset. Was this, like, not going to happen this way, but then Leroy couldn't compete, and then the producers had to freak out, and they made bad decisions? Can we pin this all back to Leroy? Is it all his fucking fault?
I'm glad that you brought that up, because not only Leroy having to drop out, well, and Avery, let's pay our respects.
But Avery, she wasn't hurt. She was hot. She did everything she needed to do. She did good in the challenge.
Yeah.
She's awesome. I love Avery.
But what I'm saying is, now that fucking these replacements come in, during the to be continued the commercial, did you notice that TJ kicks out somebody? That's all I know.
Yeah, that seems obvious who it is, though.
So maybe I don't want to talk about that, but I think that if it happens, that makes sense why they're stretching out these episodes, because they keep on losing challengers.
Yeah,
producers like, holy fuck. Yeah,
we paid good money to see the fucking main event, and now we're not seeing it.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, part of me, as soon as I started to realize that I'm getting angry at every single episode, I was like, hold on, you might just be getting old. You don't understand what the kids like now. Maybe they like the fact that, like, not every episode makes sense, motherfucker. You just don't know. You're too old. Oh, you're used to, you know, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. You know, set up conflict and payoff. You know what I mean? But sometimes...
How do you like them apples?
Sometimes... You know, it's just setup and no payoff. It's like Empire Strikes Back, motherfucker, but, you know, newer than that because, you know, I think we're too young to even know what Empire Strikes Back is, motherfucker. Oh my god, let's finish this episode, right? Let's fucking get it out of the...
I'm over it.
I know, me too, dude. There's this one scene that I actually really liked. Simone comes back, and Wes is like, what happened at the dinner party? And
Tell me what happened.
But the thing is, Simone, she's like, she's almost in tears. She's like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to. She's being super dramatic. Right?
She knows it's the end of the night. This has been going on a while. I don't want to talk about it right now.
Do you think
it's like this has been going on too long?
Do you think the dinner ended horribly as soon as Johnny started talking about Sarah? Basically,
I think he turned it south.
Yeah,
he turned the fucking wheel on the ship. And he's like, hey, we're heading southwest. And Bananas is like, we're going in a shitstorm.
No, Bananas actually said, we're going southwest. You mean southwest, right? Oh, yeah. What did you think I said? Oh, you clearly said Southwest. Because Johnny has Wes on his mind.
That's all he's thinking about.
Yeah.
Fernandez is only thinking about Wes. It's so true.
It's crazy.
I didn't even think about that, but that's totally true.
Okay, so anyway, someone was like, yeah, your name was brought up. And I stood up for you. I said that you were attractive and that, you know, blah, blah, blah. And Wes is like, well, yeah, I have a girlfriend. And someone was like, yeah, but then you complimented me and I felt a certain way and I feel like you might be playing me. And Wes is like, I never said that you were attractive. He says something very just like...
He's like, I never said that you were attractive, but that's all he was saying. He only said he didn't say it. He didn't say he didn't think it. So...
But at the bar, he said...
It felt like there was something still there.
He said that's a really nice dress you have.
Yeah. You know? Yeah, he did like the way she looked.
But Simone. God damn. But Simone is talking to Wes, and Wes says, I have a girlfriend. I was complimenting you. I was not hitting on you. You have a crush on me? He whispers that. And Simone's like, well, fuck you. Or something like that. She goes on the defensive really quick, and it's pretty obvious, and it's pretty sad, because...
It was kind of a setup, like, the way the way he said the line. I was like, okay, yeah, you kind of walked her into that. But it worked, and it was funny.
Yeah, this happens all the time.
No, it was so funny.
I don't remember Wes being this, like, kind of... This isn't being very political. You could be possibly making a huge enemy out of Simone, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of shocked that he did it. You know what I mean? That's the only reason. Because maybe Thomas was like, I don't give a shit about Wes. And Simone's like, yeah, me neither. You know what I mean? Like that. But that's why I was kind of shocked about it. I liked it, but I was kind of shocked. I'm like, no, that's another rookie person to keep in your pocket. So that's why I was shocked. Right?
Yeah.
Anyways, from this dinner, Amanda comes in, and Johnny Riley's like, "Hey, so what season of Are You the One? Are you from?" And she's like, "Do you even care?" And Johnny Riley's like, "No." And that's where she starts going off.
But Johnny was completely right.
That's pure Johnny Riley.
Because he's like, you know what? I need to at least act like I care what other people think about, so I asked you a nice question so you could talk about yourself, and I was going to be kind. But you asked me why I need to ask that? She's like, so you're being a dick. All right. Yeah, like, you had no reason to do that, and they didn't.
No.
She should have just been like, oh yeah, I'm going to be nice and like talk about myself. We can both have a mutually beneficial conversation. We're both talking about our teams, talking about our strengths and our weaknesses. Could be a good segment for the show. But instead, Ashley is drunk. Amanda's drunk and she takes offense to everything.
But, I mean, she also says, like, her fucking dad is sick and she wants to win this for his treatments or something. I'm not really sure. I should have been paying way more attention.
I didn't hear that. That's newsworthy.
Yeah, so apparently Amanda's very, like, she's driven. You know what I mean?
So she has a sick father or something?
But she's being reckless with her drive. You know what I mean? She's not making any friends. Every single person that says anything, she's like, what do you give a shit about? You know? And Johnny Riley's like, it's small talk. I'm sorry. This is what humans do. What are you, fucking autistic or some shit? They're like, well, I don't understand smiling. What does this mean? Like, are you baring teeth at me? Fuck you. You know what I mean? It's just, it's horrible. Poor Amanda. She's just going off like a shotgun in every single angle, as Ashley says. And Ashley laughs. She's like, this house is making me less and less seem as crazy as everyone else.
And it's true.
So Amanda does get in a fight with Tony because, of course, Tony always puts himself in that scenario. And since Tony is involved, of course, Camilla is standing up.
But she's acting like the mature person again. She's acting mature.
So, in closing, like this video, subscribe, comment, share. It's a weekly podcast, by the way. Battle of the Challenges podcast with Vincent Cloud
and Dave Lauer.